Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, September 16th, and we are doing our COT video. Just a quick recap on the S&P for the data that came out on Friday the 13th. Just a quick reminder that derivatives trading is inherently risky and past performance is not indicative of future returns. We'll start off with a quote that all of you have probably heard by now, that they're eating the dogs and the cats in Ohio. That was not a comment I thought I would hear in a presidential debate, but this does affect our markets, and we'll briefly dive into this and how, as well as reviewing a few instruments. To start off, commercials did go slightly long last week ahead of the FOMC meeting this week, and for what appears to be a new all-time high push. So for the week ahead, we have rolled to the new Z contract on the futures. So if you're still on the U contract for the week, these prices will have to be adjusted. But we are looking for a rotational price between 55.80 and 57.29. That'll be our rotational zone with our pivot at 56.52, and over 57.29, we'll target a new all-time high with 58.43, and another target below that at 57.94. If we get under 55.80, we'll target 55.03 and 54.66. We do have a lot of catalysts this week with retail sales on Tuesday, FOMC on Wednesday, and OPEX on Friday. And it's a quarterly OPEX where our futures contract ends and rolls over by date rule. So just be aware of everything coming on the calendar this week. So now, just a quick recap here of what's going on with that comment in Ohio is how does a comment about cats and dogs affect our markets? And we need to look no further than home insurance premiums in Florida. If you had to buy insurance daily, it's safe to say that 95% of the time, you'd be able to predict the weather for the day. If it's going to be nice and sunny, you probably don't need insurance. But if a hurricane might hit, you do. And that's when premiums will rise and skyrocket. And that's when there's a tail risk. And if a hurricane is approaching, if it makes landfall, insurance companies could lose a lot. And if it misses, well, then they just padded their bottom line. Now, we don't get to buy insurance day by day on our cars or our homes, but insurance is traded daily in the markets. So if you step back and ask yourself how confident you feel predicting where the market will be, as we came out of Memorial Day and we headed into summer, we get the ball underwater, and it's safe to say that you could guess which direction the market was going to go for a few weeks or a few months. And then you hear that dogs and cats in Ohio are getting eaten, and all of a sudden that ball's released, it shoots out of the water, and now there's more uncertainty. So could you say emphatically, if you are an insurance company trading on risk premium, that you know who will win the presidency in a few months? And if you don't know that emphatically, then you're less likely to want to take risk, or you will charge a lot more for that risk. So you can review our ball underwater video from last December to see how this plays out. But when uncertainty rises, we get bigger moves. And so eating cats and dogs was not on my debate card. And I do live in Ohio, so that was not something I was even aware of. But it does warrant more risk premium, and it could lead to a blow-off top style move or a correction move. So be prepared for these in the coming weeks, as we are in interesting times. And we'll just focus on a couple stocks for the week as well for you guys to pay attention to. For Tesla, we're going to look for a rotational price between 232 and 217 with our pivot at 224. Under 217, our target is 205.91, and over 232, our target is 247.11. And for those that want to play the AI narrative and the FOMC with a rate cut for a lower cap stock, we can look at PLTR. So a small cap stock that would benefit from rate cuts. Rotational price action is expected 35.44 to 32.76 with our pivot at 34.16. Under 32.76, our target's 30.61. And if momentum stays into FOMC on Wednesday, then our upper pivot is 37.52 with targets at 38.58 and 41.43. We do have some classes starting this weekend. If you're interested, you can sign up at Sticks Trading Academy. If you want access to our other levels and instruments, you can join our professional trading room. And if you want to learn to do this for yourself, again, check out our courses that are starting as you can learn to build your own edge in the market. Have a great week, everybody.